So against my better judgment, I was on Reddit the other day, and I was just scrolling on tactical gear and all those threads or subreddits, whatever you call them on there, and just trying to find some, new ways to set up kit, see what kind of ideas people had, and just see what was going on in the modern world of tactical gear on Reddit, which is always a way to, kind of hurt my faith in humanity. But I did see a good question on there that got me thinking, because I've had the same question more than once. And that is, how do I keep my admin gear on my belt kit organized, or where do I even put it? So if you don't know why that question is relevant, it's because belt kits have limited space. Now, even if you have like a pre-sewn belt kit with tons of space, you run into the issue of, well, I got to keep a lot of stuff on my belt kit. And if it's a Molly belt kit where you're putting the pouches on yourself, you're very quickly going to run out of space. So putting an admin pouch on there is just hard. It's going to take up where you can put magazines or your IFAK or some canteens or even GP stuff that you really need on the belt line. It's going to take the spot of that. So today we're going to talk about 3 different options of where you can store and keep your admin gear and still have it safe, organized, easy to get to, and just have it on your body without having to worry about there's no space on my belt kit. So first, let's define what admin gear is really quickly in a broad stroke, and then get into those 3 options. All right, so first off, like I said, what is admin gear? So the administrative gear, all those things that you like to have that help you get through your mission, patrol, whatever you're doing, even when hiking, admin gear is stuff that you're going to have on you. You're just not thinking of it as admin gear. So your maps, your pens, your pencils, your notepads, your protractors, commo cards, GRGs, quick reference cards, everything like that. Even manuals, sometimes you carry TMs, FMs, SOPs with you, depending on what you're doing, what kind of job you have. Those are all your admin gear. It's all stuff that helps you get through your mission. So it's usually going to be used in conjunction with some other items. Maybe it's not, but it's all those items you need to get from point A to point B successfully and do whatever you need to do in between. So that's admin gear, pretty simply. Just simply put, that's what it is. So now let's talk about where to keep it. All right, so the first option for how to carry admin gear, and it's a way I did when I was in the military, and I still do when we're roaming around the woods here, trying to make sure we get a good idea of this gear and showing it off. But that first way is just in your backpack. You can carry a lot of those larger admin pieces. Let's say you have a larger map you can't cut down or even fold it up. It's still a bulky map. That's a good place to keep it, is in your backpack. Manuals, back in the day, J-Fires or something I carried. So J-Fire was a really good spot for that. It was in a backpack. So when I needed it, I get to it because it is a larger booklet. So keeping those larger items in your backpack is really easy, and also keeping spares. So, if you have spare pens, pencils, map markers, all that kind of stuff, your backpack is a really good place for it. It's nice and secure. It's on your body, and getting to it isn't that terribly hard. So, but it is something that, you have to take a second to get into. So if you need something, if that gear is something you're going to need a lot, I don't recommend keeping it in your backpack if you're doing this in a, tactical manner. So backpack's the first one, and it's just great for larger items and that admin gear selection you have. So let's look at the second one. All right, the next option, and one I still find myself doing quite a bit, and one I did a lot in the Army, which, if you didn't know, I was a forward observer in the Army. I had a lot of admin gear on me because maps, pens, protractors, all that kind of stuff had to keep really handy to do my job. But on the body is a really good spot to keep a lot of that stuff secure, organized, and easy to get to, and you can compartmentalize it when it's on your body. So between your cargo pockets, if you're wearing ACUs or something like that, or BDUs, on your top, you have shoulder pockets nowadays on pretty much any top you're going to get, chest pockets, and all that. So you can compartmentalize some of those items into those pockets, and they're still easy to get to. They're still going to be pretty secure. Maybe not quite as secure as like your backpack or our next option, but they're still plenty fine for carrying most of your admin gear and making sure you know right where it's at when you need it, and you can tie it down to your body. So that way you pull it out, it's not going to get lost, which is a big thing. So your pockets. I like that method. I think it's a good method to use in conjunction with our next method. All right, the last option, and the one I think works best with a belt kit, used in conjunction with on your body is just a waist pack. So something like that right here, a waist pack, because that can be slung around anywhere on your body. You can sling it over shoulder, around your waist. You can attach it to your backpack if you really need to get it off your body for some reason. But the waist pack is a good one because depending on the size of your waist pack, you can fit larger maps, you can fit notepads, you can fit, manuals, all those kind of things in there, protractors, plenty of pens and pencils, map markers, and it can all stay there really easy to get to right in the front of your body. So that's the one I think is the best for a belt kit, is just to put it, in a waist pack around your waist. So those are your 3 options. Now let's talk about one other issue some people have brought up when it comes to, if I'm wearing belt kit, where do I put this? So let's cover that real briefly. All right, one more issue I saw when I saw that question most people had brought up was, where do I keep my EUD or my ATAC, those electronic devices, the map and targeting devices, and the big old flip-up phones, all that. Where do I keep those if I'm wearing belt kit? Well, there's no good options. There is potential. You can make a bridge between your shoulder straps from your belt itself and wear it that way. But at the end of the day, there's just not a lot of good options if you're wearing strictly a belt kit in a backpack to keep an EUD or an ATAC of some variety. So I don't have a good answer for that one. If you do, leave a comment below, because other than your, pockets, not a really good one. So yeah. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this quick answer to what is a kind of complicated question at the end of the day, because everybody has their own preference of how to do these things. So let me know down in the comments below what your favorite method is. If you found a different kind of ways to do this, if you found a way to do something else with your belt kit that makes it nice and easy for you. But let me know in the comments below. Let me know what other questions you want answered as well down there. And just in general, appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching. Head on over to VentureSurplus.com and get some gear.